I'm Dr. Mark Hatala, and I want to welcome you to my office. I'm a cognitive scientist who studies time travel by replicating days from the past. And so all the media, from morning newspapers to late night television and everything in between that someone would have been exposed to if they'd been alive on a particular day. So the day that we're talking about in this video is December 7th, 1972. And when I talk about the media, I mean all kinds of media that people were exposed to. So today we're going to discuss the entertainment for men. So the December 1972 issue of Playboy. So it's a takeoff on a Coca-Cola ad, if you will. But it has some very interesting components to it, which I'd like to share with you. So for example, The Godfather, the movie, had come out March 24th, 1972, and it was extremely popular. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. But people became interested in the Mafia or Casa Nostra, and so there were a lot of articles written about it. And Playboy has an outstanding article about Mr. Gribbs, or Gribbsy, who ran the, his real name was Carmine Tremundi, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, but he ran the Lucchese crime family. And so it's about an 8-page journalistic article about him. It's outstanding. He was actually eventually went to prison due to the French Connection trial. If you've ever heard about that, they made a movie about it too. It was a bunch of heroin sales. And in 1973, and he died in prison in 1978 of natural causes, which is impressive in its own right. There's also a section, the Playboy Advisor, where people write in questions looking for answers. And so there's all kinds of interesting questions like, I went to the Louvre, or the Louvre, and I noticed that none of the statues were circumcised. What's with that? Or I'm pregnant and I'm not going to drop acid, but I'm thinking of smoking pot, and I wonder if that's going to hurt my baby. And then one more, because I actually looked up the number on this one. It was someone who, they said, I have a buddy who's got the December 1953 copy of Playboy, which is the original with Marilyn Monroe, and they wanted to know what it would be worth. And the advisor said, you could get $150 for that, and which is about $950 in today's money. I looked it up on eBay, though, right before making this video, and it sells for about $5,000. If it's legit even. I saw as high as $13,000. I did not pay $13,000 for this edition of the December 1972 Playboy. One of the things that I think people don't realize today is what a cultural impact that Playboy had also. And so Hugh Hefner, who was the publisher, he was, I think a lot of people think of him today as he was on that show where he lived with a bunch of women in the Playboy Mansion. But at the time, he was considered like a serious philosopher. He had something called the Playboy philosophy. It was really just a hedonistic approach to life. And he was able to attract real talent to write for his magazine. So, for example, Woody Allen has an article in this issue too. It's a satirical piece. It's called Match Wits with Inspector Ford. And it's goofy, but it's actually pretty funny too. There's the party jokes section, which I believe is in every Playboy magazine. The jokes are pretty awful. There's I'll give you one. A guy's on his honeymoon and his wife says, I got something to tell you. I used to work as a topless dancer. And the guy says, well, that's a relief. I was afraid you were going to say that you'd worked as a prostitute. And then she says, well, I got something else to tell you. And the quality of the jokes declines precipitously from there. The ads are interesting too because they're pretty racy, especially for 1972. My guess is because they appeared in Playboy that it was considered more appropriate to have them like that. But I will put links to all of these articles below so you can read them on my website, timetravelsimplified.com. And I would say, to finish this out, Hugh Hefner died in, I know, surprised, in 2017. And he's buried next to Marilyn Monroe in her crypt in some Hollywood cemetery. Now, he did not get the opportunity to be a time traveler, but you have that opportunity. And so I would encourage you to pick up a copy of my book. If you want to relive December 7th, 1972, the final Apollo mission, it's risk-free. If you don't consider it to be a time travel experience, I will happily refund your money to you. And so it's time travel or it's free. That's our motto. I would hope that you like and subscribe. If you're interested in supporting my research, I have a link below to my Patreon account. And otherwise, have a great day.